Hello everyone, and welcome to OST Live, a weekly broadcast on blockchain, branded tokens, and token economies built on OST. Simple Token, also known as OST, is a public blockchain platform that allows businesses to launch their very own branded tokens, such as businesses like ConnectScale. And with us today, we have Ben Arnold. He is the founder and CEO at ConnectScale. Ben, welcome to OST Live.
Hey, excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So, can you tell us about what exactly is ConnectScale?
So ConnectScale is really two parts. So we have a hardware component, which is our Bluetooth phishing scale, and then we have a software component, which is native mobile apps that are native to iOS and Android that pairs with that Bluetooth scale. So what it allows is anglers to log their catches simply by weighing the catch. It sends data over into the mobile app, and it creates a journal or log. And we've recently launched a social aspect to the platform and starting to build out a community of users.
Great. So it's an actual hardware that helps with the weighing what fishers catch or what anglers, the bait they catch. Do you have one on hand just to
I do.
see what it looks like?
Yeah. So this is our latest version. This is ConnectScale version 2. So you have the app here. You power it on, and then once you weigh your catch, what you do is after you land a catch, you put it in. You can weigh it here with the grippers that we have, and then so when you weigh it, it'll lock in, and then once you get that hold weight, that data is transferred over into the app, and it creates a history. So it once it brings over the weight, it pulls in GPS location of where you're at, date, time, and then like you said, you can add additional details like what bait lure you used, what fishing technique, and if you want to capture any additional notes. And what that does is it starts to create a history of the catches, and you're able to go back in and identify patterns to see what's worked, what hasn't. The platform provides analytics. It does route tracking, so when you're out on the water, it'll track your motion out on the water, so you can see when you weigh your catch, it'll drop a pinpoint so that you can go back then later and look at that map and see exactly where you caught the catch.
Great. And for the listeners that are listening to this on the podcast version, you can check out the link in the description to view the video, or they also have it visible on connectscale.com. So how did this idea for ConnectScale come to be?
So I started ConnectScale when I had an idea to improve the process of collecting data when fishing. I'm a product and process guy. My background is in process improvement and project management. So I wanted to create an easy way for users to be able to go in, and basically it's an all-in-one support tool that'll help you track your catches. So that was the ideal that we had when we started ConnectScale.
Great. So the idea is to gather more accurate information, as you mentioned, it has GPS tracking, and it records it all in a log to become better and better as far as where you fish and where you catch which bait.
That's right. Yeah. So in addition, one of the things that we've recently added is a lot of our users are tournament anglers, so they fish competitively, whether it's local tournaments, local clubs. And they can win money and prizes in those events, but we give them the ability to manage their catches when they're out on the water. So you can weigh your catch, it creates that log of while you're on the water, and it identifies your best 5 catches. So the way tournaments work is typically you're rewarded for your best 5 catches. So the system automatically manages those catches, so then you can release the other catches so they can go back, and it just helps improve the time and effort that you're spending in managing your catches in those tournaments.
Great. And so recently, you guys have been working on implementing a token to the platform. So how are you guys implementing the use of blockchain to ConnectScale?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. The biggest incentive in using blockchain for us is the ability to create smart contracts and then enabling microtransactions. So the first thing we want to do is create tournaments that we host on our platform ourselves. So what you'll be able to do is compete with anglers there in your region or across the nation or even the globe. At some point we want to launch globally. But what the smart contracts allows us to do is it provides an easy way to prove that, and it discourages cheating, because there's the transactable way where you can go back and monitor who's doing what. And then from a token standpoint, and what turned us on to OST is building a tokenized economy. So I'm a very big believer in game mechanics and loyalty. So we wanted to create a way to incentivize our users to use the platform. And we're building out ways to build that economy to incentivize activity within the platform.
Great. So you're using blockchain because it's a way to have valid data, and it's immutable, can't be changed, which is great for the tournaments because it is, to try to discourage cheating that may occur sometimes. So what are some of the use cases for the token? How can users either earn or spend the ConnectCoins?
Sure. So initially, from a transaction standpoint, we're going to reward users for adding a catch, of course, whether that be with the scale, or if they don't have the scale, they can go in and manually add a catch to the platform as well. And then we want to grow our user base, so referring new users is going to be a big incentive that we want to reward users. And then there's other ways that we'll have later on that we're building into the platform once we launch. There'll be numerous ways for you to earn as a user. Ways to spend it, we'll be unlocking premium weather forecasting features. If you want to export your data from all of your catches to, say, pull into a spreadsheet, you'll be able to do that by spending tokens to export a report that would come out as, say, like a CSV report. And then, of course, our big vision is to use the tokens as tournament entry fees. So we're going to be hosting and managing tournaments within the platform, and our users will be able to use those tokens, the ConnectCoins, as entry fees, and then you'll be able to build up a prize pool. And using the smart contract technology, we'll be able to justify, validate the catches, and then reward those catches based on the pool that everyone's entered. And then users will also be able to create user-to-user transactions by creating their own tournaments and challenging their friends. Say they have a couple that are out on the water and you want to throw in the coins that you've earned. You can do that, and then the winner, of course, would get the prize at the end of the day, by whether it's the most catches, most weight, however they want to determine the rules of the competition.
Great. So how did you discover OST, and what made you go and choose to build your token economy on OST blockchain technology?
Yeah. So I think I was first introduced to OST through This Week in Startup podcast that I saw Jason on back. I think it was in October of last year. That was sort of my first introduction to OST. And then I reached out to the team. I think it was early December, November, and started making introductions and learning more about what the project was about. And then been an early partner. We've completed all of the alpha proof of concepts. The APIs and everything that OST is building makes it super easy to be able to build out a token economy just by simply pulling in the APIs that are there. And then OST Kit, it's as we've tested in the proof of concepts, that gives you a dashboard and a way to easily go in and see which transactions are occurring. So it's been real useful for us because our development team doesn't necessarily have the blockchain experience that it would take to try to build this on our own. So it just makes sense to go with OST, and we've been very happy with our partnership so far.
Great, and I'll go ahead and link those proofs of concepts down below for anybody that'd like to check those out. So this is you're one of OST's partners that actually minted the tokens, right?
Yeah, I think we were one of 12 or so that went through the test minting process. It was very simple, very positive experience going through. We tested a very small amount during that initial test run, but very excited for OST mainnet once we can officially mint a larger stake and then start to roll this out to our users.
Great. So ConnectScale is something that is available today, right? You guys already have an established user base, of thousands of users, and people can download the app today.
That's right. Yep. The iOS app is recently relaunched. It's our latest version, so it has that social component that I was mentioning earlier, to where you can go in, actually follow other users, see what their catches are. And then Android, we plan to upgrade it. We're looking at a first quarter launch for an Android update. The current version of Android you can still go in and use today. And of course, our scales are for sale on our website, ConnectScale.com. You can go and pick up a scale that helps automate that process of logging your catches.
So, what's the current progress of your project? What are some of the next big steps for ConnectScale?
So we're continuing to build out the iOS app and working with, of course, OST and building out the token economy. So we continue to work on that. The next big thing on our roadmap is building out those tournament capabilities. So we want to allow users to be able to create tournaments, create groups. So over the next 6 months, we're really focusing on building out that group and tournament feature. Of course, Android will be launching in the first quarter of 2019 as well. So we're looking at early first quarter 2019 to launching the tournaments on both platforms, and really looking to expand the user growth at that point.
Great, and that I think this is it's very exciting to see the implementation of blockchain in use cases in a variety of different fields, including this field of fishing and the industry in fishing. For the listeners that want to learn more about ConnectScale, as Ben mentioned, you can check out ConnectScale.com. Their app is also available on iOS and Android. And I'll link all of their links, their website, and their proof of concept video down in the description below. Ben, thank you for joining us on OST Live today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.